Okay. I think everything's working properly. If I sound good, then everything should be working. Anyways, get her going. Alrighty. Welcome back, folks. Hello, Zero. You were here immediately. Well done for being that quick. I'm back at home. Everything is set up again. Hopefully properly. I haven't gotten any error messages yet. So, I presume things are okay. We'll see. But yeah, I'm back at home now. No longer house sitting, so don't have to worry about that until November, which is not for a while. Oh, this looks, hang on. I can't really tell until I get into the game. That properly capturing, or is it going to be weird and not work correctly? Oh no, that's definitely wrong. That's definitely not it. Okay, so yeah, this has to be a crossfire capture for some reason. Otherwise it doesn't work. Okay, that's smooth. Yeah, we're fine. Alright, anyways. Yeah, so we're in the middle of chapter 4. And we stopped right before one of Sholmes' deductions. Because I didn't have it in me to complete it that night. So, let's go ahead and do it. We'll be doing our usual of a little bit of this, and then a little bit of Mega Man Zero 2. Which I'm enjoying and excited to get to, so. Yeah. Anyways. Alright. I've been playing so much Baldur's Gate that it's weird to play a different game now. That game is so fun. Baldur's Gate 3 is so good. It's so much fun. I really look forward to doing more playthroughs with either with other people and also as different classes. Hey Waffle, sorry you're late. No worries, we just started. You haven't missed shit. Just talking about Baldur's Gate because I've been playing a lot and it's like weird to see other games now. I haven't been playing it nonstop. I did take a little bit of a break. I bought another game because I have money, a little bit of money now, and it was really cheap and it's something I've been looking at for a while. And so I bought what is it called? Shadows of Doubt, which is a procedurally generated like private eye mystery game. I played it for about 6 hours last night, and it is super fun. It's kind of buggy, but it's still really, really fun. So I recommend it. It's one that Toaster's been looking at. I know he has it on his wish list, and I wanted it as well, and it looks really cool. And it's fun. Writing stuff and building Woundwort? Nice. I'll have to send pictures of that after you're done. Alright. Pray, do enjoy Sherlock Holmes' latest logic and reasoning spectacular. Here we go. Topic 1. Man's identity. Really? We can't tell who this guy is? Are you fucking kidding me? Firstly, we consider the gentleman's nationality. Clearly he's a German with no grasp of the English language. Oh god, forgot about this audio. As evidenced by the dramatic song he sings and his apparent inability to understand when asked to desist. So, why is the man here at all, and in such apparently high spirits? Answer, of course, Iris, is clearly known to you. Indeed, we need only follow the gaze of those bright young eyes to unravel that particular part of this mystery. The reason for the man's mildly irritating wobbling is revealed by the herbal tea. You obviously offered our German guest a cup of your latest herbal blend. The tea's delectable flavor has made the man's spirits soar, and resulted in this joyful ditty tumbling incessantly from his lips. I eagerly await the sampling the flavor myself, that I may join the fellow in his state of elation, not elevation. Now to the next question. Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so thoroughly of the city? City? Sator? It's French, I don't know how to pronounce it. As it happens, a number of years ago now, a certain gentleman of German origin engaged my services in solving a particularly delicate case. He required the retrieval of letters once sent to an acquaintance that might have proved problematic. They were racist as fuck. In order to conceal his noble identity, he also arrived at my office in a mask. The gentleman's name was Wilhelm Gottfried Sigismund von Ornstein. Wait, wasn't that the same... Wasn't that the name of the Bahamian prince from the last one? Guys kept joking about my dad being dead, so I'm making her dad dead, Iris, after this probably. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the name. I think it's a different first name, but... The King of Germany. If my memory serves, the mask worn by this gentleman is identical. Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to the King of Germany. This is probably one of the dumbest deductions so far. If not the number one. The number of things he's just inexplicably forgotten about is staggering. It would appear that His Majesty remembers the fine service I afforded him, and has decided to show his face again, mask and all, in order to express his gratitude. A well-mannered monarch indeed, wouldn't you agree, my dear fellow? So the identity of this masked visitor is in fact my former client, the King of Germany. Indeed, his son is currently in London as well, enjoying the wonders of the Great Exhibition. Oh, okay. I think that answers that. I think at this point he's just trying to see how much he can fuck with Ryunosuke. Yeah. I kind of hope that's the case as well, because otherwise, boy, how do you function? Alright, topic 2. Girls' silence. Which leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Yes, you, young Iris. But her apparently inexplicable silence is unable to hide the truth. Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that knapsack. £5 note, I believe. I must say, as your compatriot, I'm deeply saddened. It would appear that you've allowed yourself to be bribed into silence by His Royal Highness. For only £5! You should have gone for a tenner at least, earning yourself some spending money in exchange for keeping quiet about the king's secret. Can she not open her mouth? Is that the problem? And now the final piece of the puzzle. What is this secret you strive to hide with your silence, Iris? Ah, yes, we need only follow that brief, involuntary twitch of your eyes to find the answer. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. Coffee cup. My favorite coffee cup, in fact. Or should I say, the handle of my favorite coffee cup. It appears that His High-Spirited Highness broke it in the midst of his hijinks. Hijinks. Which leads us to the sad truth. My favorite coffee cup has been broken by the King of Germany, and Iris, you tried to conceal it from me. I shall have a bill sent via governmental channels to the German royal family for its replacement. Conclusion: I'll hide the coffee cup. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this painful puzzle. I want to kill this man. With your silence as well, the fellow's jovial waddling rather rings in the ears, does it not? Mr. Sholmes, I must say something that does rather trouble me. Pray, Miss Susato, do tell. His Royal Highness doesn't appear to have moved a muscle since we arrived. Ah. And you haven't said a word either, Iris. Mr. Sholmes has it all right. You might as well own up to it now. Your reasoning isn't entirely without substance, I must admit. And one other thing, Mr. Sholmes. Yet another grievance, Mr. Naruhodo? Surely not. Well, I actually read the story of that case recently, the one where you were just describing. And according to that, at least, it wasn't the King of Germany, it was the King of Bohemia. Goodness, was it? Yes, that's quite true. Master Guts, the prince, testified to that in court. In his words, I have come to see the great exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia. I would ask you to keep that minor error to yourselves. It could easily become quite a scandal. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that it's our turn now to make some corrections to a number of minor errors that may have slipped in. Yes, even Mr. Sholmes is willing to admit he might be slightly wide of the mark this time. Although it's clear that Iris is definitely hiding something. We need to find out the truth behind this mysterious scene. But one truth is incontrovertible. My favorite coffee cup is no more. Good God, I thought you were shirtless. Oh, did my shirt blend into my skin tone? Was that it? Just slightly over. It is a little bit tan colored. Actually, I think it was at one point white, and has browned with age. This was my this was a Star Wars shirt that I got at there was an exhibition in Edmonton at I think the Science Center called Star Wars Generations. It was talking about like just kind of like growing up and like the effects various things can have on people as they grow up. And how that linked to Star Wars. It was kind of a kitschy little exhibition, but it was fun. And yeah, this is where I got the shirt. I think I have another one that's like got Yoda on it or something. But my mom bought it, but it didn't fit her, so it's like a large. So it's like it doesn't fit me either. I don't wear it very often. If it was, I'd be wilding in chat. I'd also be getting banned. Can't show nips on stream. Unless you got pasties, then it's okay. So, shall we embark again? On a joint presentation of Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular? Alright. Alright. Firstly, consider the gentleman's nationality. Clearly he's a German with a grasp of the English language. I mean, apparently the only way people can tell Japanese people apart in this is the eyes. So if you cover those up, it's indistinguishable from every other nationality. Just kind of weird, but whatever. Alright, I assume she's gonna look at the record player. While you're saying warbling is revealed by the herbal tea. So what? It's some mix of herbs that gives you the urge to sing? Goodness, I should like to try some. And I'd like to hear your singing, but this man... Just how long does he intend to keep up with that tune, do you suppose? As I said, he's been stock still the entire time, and if you look closely, it's starting to get rigor mortis. His lips aren't moving either. Ah. So I'm not sure what's actually responsible for the spirited singing. But I suspect the answer lies at the end of Iris's gaze. I mean, what else is it? The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the gramophone. Indeed, for no well-bred gentleman would break into an obscure folk song when making a social call. Hey, speak for yourself, man. In other words, this gentleman doesn't sing at all. In fact, it would appear that the fellow is unconscious. I hate this kit, how quickly you've changed your tune. Ah, the music seems to have stopped now. I ask you, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? I've purchased a recording of that gibberish. How should I know? Well, never mind. On with the deduction. Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so thoroughly of the cité? It's the King of Bohemia. Instruction booklet makes me look for runners because it doesn't tell me what runners each body part needs. Oh, yeah. There's still a lot of kits that do that, like, where they don't list the runners you need. I'm pretty sure I've built more kits that don't do that than kits that have. I think it's something they do more often now, but there's definitely a lot of old kits that don't do that. Because I think they've done that since the Strike remaster at least. Because I'm pretty sure like the Strike remaster did it, and like all the remastered seed kits did it, but I don't think any of the other master grades I've built have done that. I can't remember if the Unicorn did. Anyways. It's my only grade. That's good. Is that a high grade, the Woundwort? I forget. Still want to fuck this mech though? That's a low bar. Although we've already established that it was actually the King of Bohemia.
Seems Mr. Sholmes intends to persist with his Germany theory for some reason.
Come to think of it, the young prince was wearing a mask as well, wasn't he?
Master Gotts, the boy whom you had in tears.
Don't remind me, or anyone else.
Do you suppose all members of the aristocracy of mainland Europe wear masks?
I'm sure they do. Well, probably anyway. The point is that mask doesn't belong to any king.
No, that's right, as we well know, because we can identify the true owner of this mask.
It was Cosmo.
Take that!
High grade. Okay. Hopefully it's a good one. Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to Kazuma Asogi. In other words, my memory is sublimely unreliable. Wow, at least he came out and said it. Only you could try to make that sound positive. Kazuma's mask has been languishing on this metal chest for several days. But that doesn't explain why the gentleman is wearing it now. But it is now a simple matter to determine our guest's true identity. After all, the gentleman is unconscious. We need only excuse ourselves in advance, checking if the mask can peer beneath it. Nobody had better react in surprise, or I'm ending the stream. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. It was super fun. Fuck this game. I don't believe it.
Father!
I'm afraid, Mr. Sato, you must be Mr.
No, I think not, Mr. Sholmes.
Then it would appear our logic and reasoning has once again revealed the truth. This mysterious visitor.
It's my unconscious father, Yujin Mikotoba.
Logic and reasoning? Or just looking and saying? Are you gonna get rare milk that only comes from one cow in northern Norway? Actually, I was gonna get the rare milk that comes from eastern Sweden. It's similar, but subtly different. What the fuck are you talking about? Which leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Okay. I did notice the coffee cup is broken on the ground. I don't get my milk from one cow in northern Norway. I get it from Safeway. So wherever they get it from, probably there. Tastes 0.046865% more milky. I don't know if I want more milky in my milk. I don't know what that means, but it concerns me. That's a 5-pound note poking out from Iris's knapsack, is it?
Oh dear, I can't be sure. Most money that we encounter is in coin form.
I know. I'm not even sure if we've seen any banknotes here in Britain at all, have we?
But anyway, Father would never have paid money for Iris's silence.
Well, he seems like the silent type himself, though, judging by his present state. There must be some other reason for Iris' silence, I suppose.
Perhaps what Iris is trying so hard not to give away with her eyes is something entirely different.
You think? What is she looking at? Oh, the chest. Oh yeah, because everything's off the chest. That would be why the thing is broken, is because they were trying to get inside. That makes sense.
This metal chest contains important documents, doesn't it?
Yes, details of all the cases Mr. Sholmes has worked on over the years. Written up by Iris' father, if I'm remembering correctly. Iris insists that the chest is kept locked at all times. She's never once shown me inside.
Well, its contents are invaluable to her, I suppose, and entirely irreplaceable. But look at it now. That catch is unlocked for once.
Ah, so it is. That's hard to ignore.
Very. I've never seen that chest unlocked before in all the time we've been staying here at Baker Street.
Take that!
Written by Iris's dead father. Her father. Written by her father. There's no other words there.
Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that metal chest. An excellent observation, for upon closer inspection, there was something different about the chest's appearance. It's kept locked at all times, yet now the catch is open. Evidently, this has something to do with your refusal to speak, Iris. But it's a simple enough matter to incite you to speak, I'm sure. I merely need to open this chest. Oh, he's gonna do it. Here we go.
No! Hurley, don't!
Oh. Oh!
Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Hurley!
Wow, this game really is a lot like Baldur's Gate 3. Trapped chests and everything. He's dead. He's dead! Woohoo! Hell yeah, he's dead. We finally got him. Oh, thank the Lord. Thank Christ. I just realized I forgot to start mix it up and stuff. Just quickly open this. Well, now I have 2 dead boyfriends. Yeah, a couple of pairs of pointed ears, and this is just like Baldur's Gate 3. What's the difference? He's dead.
Never! Oh, Hurley, I told you not to open it.
So you found your voice now, Iris.
Ah!
In other words, what just happened clearly reveals the truth here. So, just find my... There we go. Now that mix it up has started properly. In other words, what just happened clearly reveals the truth here. Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is... Is Sholmes just out of the picture now? I think he is. I think this is our show now. That box has a fisting fetish. Also, how's it going, Matt and Arsai? What are you up to? Where are you at in Baldur's Gate 3, by the way, Arsai? I want to see if I'm close to where you're at.
This is somewhat different to the usual dance of deduction you perform with Mr. Sholmes, isn't it?
Well, he's left me alone on the ballroom floor, so I'm going to have to dance this next part solo. And anyway, I need to get to the bottom of this, for my own peace of mind. Now then, Iris isn't usually the silent type, so...
You mean you don't actually know the answer yet, despite that knowing point of your finger before?
Mr. Sato, sometimes a man needs to point his finger first and think later.
Oh, well, if you say so. I think we'd better examine Iris more closely and try to rescue the situation then.
Oh, look at this! What is that? Got little charms on her knapsack. That's fun. Oh, is that supposed to be her and her lock? It is. Oh, that's cute. That's very cute. Anyways, it's this.
Take that!
Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is that key behind your back.
Ah,
When Mr. Sholmes was thrown into the air before, just before you called out to try and stop him, you slipped something out of your mouth. That something is the key now in your hands, no doubt, the key to the chest. Know what else is cute? I don't know.
you're so clever, Runo. What the fuck am I writing about Herlock?
You, bro?
Really?
So now it becomes clear. Thanks to Mr. Sholmes' graphic demonstration, we can well imagine what happened here.
But...
Professor Mikotoba also opened that metal chest only to be punched into the air and land sprawled on the settee.
But wait, that doesn't explain all the facts. What about the stylish scarf? And the cup of tea? And above all, why would he be wearing Kazuma-sama's mask?
Well, for those curious details, I can think of only one explanation. Clearly, an unbelievable miracle took place in this room. A kazoo? No, that would be Toaster. If he said, "Want to know what else is cute?" That'd be his response. Isn't that right, Iris? Kazoos are erotic. Don't. I'm moving on. Consider how the room was arranged before this whole painful experience took place. Professor Mikotoba opened the chest, completely unaware of what awaited him inside. The mask was flung into the air just as he was, only to land neatly on his face when it fell back down. And the teacup's journey through the air ended when it caught on the unconscious professor's finger.
You mean to say that the stylish scarf?
Is actually just a tablecloth. This is the great detective's office, after all, a place of miraculous deductions. Would you expect anything less? Hell yeah. Mort's mech thighs are so fucking thick. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. It happened exactly as you said. Brilliant, Runo. Susie, your father is dead.
This concludes Ryunosuke Naruhodo's great deduction of this punchy puzzle.
So then, why don't I make a fresh pot of tea for us all?
Objection!
Oh, he gets an objection.
An admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather missed everything of importance.
Mr. Sholmes!
If you would cast your mind back to my earlier deduction... Iris, clearly you're hiding a great secret.
Ah! She is? The look on her face. Mr. Sholmes must be right. Whatever that great secret is, the cat isn't out of the bag yet.
So I put it to you again. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup.
Alright, we're not done.
Your father's dead. Yours was dead longer.
What?
It really is a shame about Mr. Sholmes' cup.
Must have been smashed when Professor Mikotoba opened the chest.
Oh dear, so many things seem to have been broken here.
But now that the deduction has taken a different direction, Iris doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore.
In other words, her great secret is something else.
Put our observational skills to work here one final time then. Is it in her knapsack? Surely this time, at last, the knapsack is going to be the answer.
I'm really not sure why you're so intent on showing Iris's bag to be complicit in these events.
Because it's a sizable bag.
Big enough to carry things around, Mr. Naruhodo. That's what bags are for.
So, the knapsack might never see the limelight, you mean?
I really wouldn't like to say.
Okay, that's not it. Oh, it's under here. Aha!
Take that!
You were attempting to abscond with that case file.
Iris, as you know very well, nothing escapes the attention of a great detective. Oh no.
We visited Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory earlier today. Oh, right! The missing case file from, was it the professor case that was missing? No, it was Clint Van Zeke's autopsy report, I think, was missing. And Dr. Gorey informed us that the autopsy report of Clint Van Zeke's had gone missing. Clint Van Zeke's. Yes, I do seem to recall. Some years ago, I asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris? You mean it was you, Iris? So those papers you have there are... I'm sorry. Forgive me! Edwin weren't my hands when she was on screen, so late wood, you have to choose, and you've chosen the one word. Can't have both. Deduction complete. Elementary. Not even mad. Sometimes you gotta make a choice. In truth, I would like to have thought I could have predicted the booby-trapped chest. But it caught me completely off guard. I was very nearly the late consulting detective Herlock Sholmes. I'm sorry, Hurley. So you mean this autopsy report really is? Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I knew it was very important.
Was there something in it that troubled you, Iris?
Not exactly something that troubled me. Something I'd been looking for. When I saw this report, when I saw the writing in it, I knew it was Daddy's. The writing?
Your father's writing. What do you really mean?
Iris? Must be something that's hard for her to talk about. Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellows. Mr. Sholmes, what is it? I feel as though the poor unconscious gentleman on the settee has been somewhat forgotten.
Ah! Father!
Perhaps we should find our guest somewhere more peaceful to rest. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? We must do our very best to make him comfortable, I feel. Oh, yes, of course. I'll help you carrying him up.
So will I.
No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy. We wouldn't want Iris's brew to stew. Because there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs like a trunk. I just want to hear like... Boom, 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 boom. I wonder, perhaps that was deliberate. Mr. Sholmes is making himself scarce to give Iris the chance to talk more freely.
We must use this opportunity to talk with Iris. And find out what's going on.
Huh? Your daddy. Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father?
I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Hurley's partner.
You just hear him drop him, yeah. Fucking drops him down the stairs. Oh shit! Sorry. Please continue.
Yes, I thought notes about all the cases they solved together are...
What? And that notes about all... is that supposed to be the notes? Yeah, that's definitely a typo. That doesn't work.
Can you tell us more about your late father, your father? There's no other word there.
Yeah, pots and pans crash. Cat screeches. Sound of a car crash.
And the notes about all the cases they solved together are kept inside that metal chest. That's right. Hurley told me, you see. He said that Daddy's somewhere far away now, so we can't meet.
That's one way of describing it.
Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build up a picture in my head about what Daddy must be like.
Well, that's only natural.
You're just like any other girl of your age.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I read that Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too.
Well, that's only natural, I suppose.
In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, though. But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name. Ah, his name wasn't anywhere on any of the notes he made about his work with Hurley. But then one day...
That's what happened, is it? When you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out. Is that right?
Yes.
It was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye. Oh, so there's a chance actually that the dude who died wasn't her dad. Because that autopsy report might not be a perfect match. She might be mistaken.
When I saw the writing on that report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting. I thought to myself...
Because it was the same as the writing you'd seen on your father's case notes.
Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report away. And even worse, I was told that it was the first and last time we'd be allowed to even to look at it there.
So you decided to steal it.
When I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had here, there was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same. It was Daddy's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report.
Read Dr. John H. Wilson.
And that's how I finally found out. I learnt Daddy's name at last.
I see.
Ever since then, I've called myself Iris Wilson. And that's also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with Hurley. I decided there and then that I'd write the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, Iris, I had no idea the stories had quite such a deep personal significance for you.
I can see why the autopsy report was so important to her now. And why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it. Still don't buy it. Oh, this is Sherlock.
I must apologize, Iris. This is really all my fault. Hurley? I made a promise, you see, that until the time was right, I'd keep the details about your father a secret. I know, I've been very naughty. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Glory and apologize, I promise. I must apologize, Iris. Now that you know his name, I must kill you. You cannot be allowed to leave alive. Yes, we'll go together, I think. He was my twink before Ryunosuke. Then let me look after it for you until we get there.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna read that.
I must go and water my herbs, I think. I'll see you all later.
Poor Iris. You must be feeling awful. I know Mr. Sholmes is here for her, but still.
Ah! What? How? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Sholmes?
Mr. Sholmes?
Oh dear me. So, you've noticed, I see. But that would mean...
What on earth's the matter, Mr. Sato? You've turned as white as a sheet.
It's this autopsy report, Mr. Naruhodo. The one from 10 years ago. The writing isn't Dr. Wilson's at all.
Huh? What do you mean? How could you possibly know that?
Because I know this writing very well. This writing is my father's.
What? What? Professor Mikotoba's?
Indeed, it's true. And now you know. My dear fellows.
No, I don't know anything. What on earth does all this mean, Mr. Sholmes? Because the idea that's slowly forming in my mind is just too extraordinary to believe. Iris is half Japanese. I don't think that's the case. Please, you have to explain. Hang on. Can I read the autopsy report real fast? Coroner John H. Wilson, victim name Clint Van Zeeks, age 33, nationality British, time of death 31st May between 9 p.m. and midnight. Observations: death from a single stab wound to the heart. Other superficial external wounds indicated of a duel. Oh, so he wasn't killed by a dog. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document and corresponding ink was found. Findings: vital evidence recovered from victim's stomach during autopsy. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. So he swallowed something and that was the evidence? Daddy writes like a typewriter. Fabulous, yeah. Very neat. So, this autopsy report was actually penned by Professor Mikotoba then. That makes no sense. It's not possible, surely.
Not possible, my dear fellow. Pray, take a deep breath and think again.
Yes, you're right. In some ways. It actually makes a great deal of sense.
It does?
10 years ago was when Father returned to Japan after his extended study tour in Britain.
And prior to his return, where was Dr. Mikotoba engaged?
Ah, of course. He was an assistant in Dr. Wilson's laboratory, learning about forensic science.
And as an assistant, he would have aided with the dissection work, making detailed notes, which would be assembled into the full autopsy report. Once the work was complete, the head coroner would check the contents and put his signature on the document.
Iris's dad and my dad had a wife swap. Oh, God.
In other words, the only writing of Dr. Wilson's in the report would be his signature at the end.
I see. Iris got the wrong end of the stick, you mean? She saw that and assumed the whole report had been written by Dr. John H. Wilson.
Which is very understandable, of course.
What a complicated situation. Okay. So, yeah, was he your partner? What's the deal here? Thinking about it, most of what we know about you, Mr. Sholmes, comes from the published stories of your exploits.
Yes, The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, written by Iris.
And we really have no way of knowing what's fact and what's fiction.
Most troubling for you, my dear fellow, I'm sure.
But what about the supposed partner of yours? Did he really exist or not?
Ah, you've come straight to the point, I see.
And please come straight to the answer.
I believe Iris explained it in one of her installments. He was a trusted comrade and the only person I could truly have called a friend.
And does this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Are his notes really stored inside that metal chest?
Absolutely, my dear madam. Absolutely.
So, where's your partner now?
We rarely meet. You see, he lives on the other side of the world.
But if this autopsy report and the records of all your old cases were penned by the same hand, and if the autopsy report was written, though not signed, by your famous partner, there would be only one logical conclusion.
Pray impress me.
Your partner would have to be Yujin Mikotoba. In other words, Miss Susato's father.
Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes?
You are coming along wonderfully. You have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction.
You mean to say?
Allow me to introduce you to my great friend and partner, Mikotoba.
Wow. Okay, sure. Why not? Professor Mikotoba. What's your relationship? Sholmes, I didn't know you were into older men.
Does this mean that you're the real Dr. Wilson?
No, my dear fellow, I'm still my old self, Eugen Mikotoba, your father.
Oh, of course.
Obviously too much for Susato-san to take in. Damn it, Sholmes! Are you fetishizing Japanese men again? You know that's not okay.
I must say, though, how my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity.
What? How my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity as a great mystery solver. Attained worldwide celebrity? Can that be used as an adjective? Weird.
How my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity as a great mystery solver is the greatest mystery of all. I still remember the first time we met. Pray remind me, when was it again, Mikotoba? 16 years ago, Sholmes. Yes, quite, 16 years ago. I just arrived from Japan with Seishiro and Genshin. I was in Shosef lodgings close to the hospital, some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price. But rents are devilishly high in that particular area. That's right, so I decided I needed someone to share lodgings and the expense, and was fortunate enough to be introduced to Sholmes, who found himself in a similar situation. I was a callow fellow back then, a mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. I was working at the hospital's chemical laboratory at the time, indulging my curiosities for little gain. And the situation of our cohabitation led to us pursuing cases together, you see. Hard to believe, it was a mere 6 years. We had a great many adventures. But in the last year of Mikotoba's stay in Britain, that most infamous of cases presented itself. A case with which you've become rather familiar yourselves, the Professor killings. After the trial, Seishiro and I were summoned back home.
Hardly surprising, given the circumstances.
So there you have it. And as you know, all the details recorded by my trusty chronicler remain in that metal chest.
It's just amazing. Professor Mikotoba really is Mr. Sholmes' famous partner. So who is Iris's father?
Father,
Goodness, my dear, what a cutting look.
as your daughter, I'm very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But nevertheless, there's another mystery that I really must ask you to explain now.
And that is?
You know very well what it is. The unresolved matter of Iris's father.
Ah, of course. I'd almost forgotten about that one.
I should have seen this coming, I suppose.
Iris told us that all the notes about the great detective's adventures that are in that metal chest were written by her father. Isn't that correct, Mr. Sholmes?
That is indeed what I told young Iris.
But if you're Mr. Sholmes' partner, father, and you wrote all those case notes, then Iris's father must be you.
On my word, Miss Usato, you are coming along wonderfully as well. You too have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction.
Sholmes is her father, but refused to play child support.
What?
What you've always told me, father, is that my mother died when I was born 16 years ago, and you left me in grandmother's care whilst you embarked on your study tour of Britain. And I've always accepted that. But all this about Iris.
Oh, there it is. Susato-san's ice-cold stare.
Oh, now hold on a minute. It was very complicated. I mean, it's really not what you think.
Then perhaps you'd like to explain exactly what it is.
There it is. Now the ice goes from ice-cold to red-hot just before she...
Oh, really? You've got the wrong end of the stick. Sholmes, say something, man. That's quite enough, my fiery fellows.
Mr. Sholmes? Why did he get all dressed up?
Whilst I don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past, Mikotoba and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion.
But it's very late, Mr. Sholmes. Where must you go?
Why, my dear madam, is that not obvious? My partner and I must pursue our natural enemies. Rent! So get your coat, Mikotoba. The game is afoot.
Ooh. I like these new songs.
But Sholmes, I really must give Susato a full explanation, I think. Later, my dear fellow, later. Our carriage awaits downstairs already. You haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really, I visit our home after 10 long years, and when I open that chest in a fit of nostalgia, I quite inexplicably pass out. As if that wasn't enough, when I eventually regain consciousness, I'm plunged straight into all this.
Father, please. Go with Mr. Sholmes now.
What?
I've no doubt that whatever happened, you were acting in everyone's best interests. I trust you, completely.
Sorrow.
And sending the great detective and his great partner off on renewed adventures together is more than I could have hoped for in my wildest dreams.
Very well then. We'll speak again later. So, I believe your own work is done for the day. I wish you the best of luck for tomorrow. Yes, Naruhodo. Good luck in battle. And in reaching a decision.
A decision? Well, whether to go back to Japan, I suppose.
So much happened that day that I barely knew what to do with myself. It would only be later that I'd come to realize how amidst the chaos I'd unleashed were all the clues I needed to finally unearth the truth. And that all the turmoil was necessary to give me the resolve to see everything through.
Cool, well I still don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm glad Ryunosuke has figured shit out. And? What do you mean, end? Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean, end? That's episode 4? We didn't finish! What? What the hell? Okay, I guess. The trial isn't over. Perk Van Zieks is still on trial for murder. We don't know what happened with Gregson or who the real killer is. Alright, I guess it continues in episode 5. Well, shit. Hopefully that means the trial ends in a crazy way. I mean, there's a lot of plot threads open right now. Like, it's getting pretty nuts. So I imagine when this gets fully tied up, it's going to be pretty crazy. Because, good lord, there's a lot of shit happening. The final chapter, the resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Well, I mean, we have an hour left. So, I mean, we could... Well, You know what? I think we'll end it here. We're kind of doing a short episode of this today, but I think starting with the final chapter next time is a great place to start. So I think we'll call it here for Greatest Attorney. Short episode today, but you know what? That'll happen sometimes. We'll be back with the next one on Monday. All right. Well, YouTube, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in the final chapter of this crazy story. Bye bye.